When he walks, he clips his cow. That's when crunch time is. The week, 2 weeks beforehand. That's when his bread, that's when he does everything. He didn't show nearly as well. He didn't get a ribbon at all for any of that. When the prior years he always has. What's this teach him? He has a checking account when he was 8 years old. He balances his own checkbook. He writes his own check when he buys his feed and his cows. I mean, he is learning so much more from what he's doing than that 7 days of instructional time. I get it. I disagree with the state test. I hate that the legislation puts it down on us, but I'm not ready to cave yet on all that with them. I would rather fight the state than saying that's going to happen. But going back to everything, I have to say Mrs. Aldridge saying how it was, I quoted you saying it was disjointed start. Yes, it was. I had many kindergarten and first grade parents talking to me how they finally got their kid off their leg and now they're back on as soon as we started back up. So there's a little more too than 4-H. Obviously that's my point that I'm going with because I witnessed firsthand. So that's my stand on it. Like I said, no disrespect to anyone on the committee anyway. State testing, I mean, it is what it is. But I did spend a lot of time looking how John looked at the calendar and saw who starts beforehand and afterhand and everything else. I compared our scores for the last so many years to most of those places. And we're West Branch. I mean, we're right there. I mean, yes, we can be better, so can everybody else. But if you can show me that we're that much lower because we're starting 7 days behind everybody else, then that's the data I want to see. There's Mickey Kennedy's opinion.
Thank you. I can't have any public speaks at this point, sir. First of all, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the committee and appreciate their work. We generally, when the committee makes recommendations to the board, we take those recommendations under advisement, of course, but it is ultimately the Board of Education's decision. And those are just recommendations that are very well thought out. But we also are community members, and we also have been receptive to a lot of discussion on this. I want to tell you that we take this, the entire board, and there's a lot of opinions, it's a very heated discussion. We take it very seriously. We've taken this matter under great consideration. There's been a lot of discussion, a lot of things weighed on both sides. I think there are some compelling arguments on both sides of this argument, and there's reasons to do both. Ultimately, though, it is up to the elected officials to decide the school calendar, but I want to add that West Branch is a unique community. There's a reason why the state of Ohio established years ago, our forefathers, local boards of education. And those local boards of education are there so that the local board of education can render their opinions as they see what's in the best interest of their community, their students, and their staff. Under item 5, recommend approval to adopt the school calendar for the 2016-17 academic year in Exhibit 3A. That would be the calendar starting August 22nd.
So moved.
Second. Treasurer, call the roll.
Mr. Wallace?
Yes.
Mrs. Carnegie?
No.
Mrs. McLaughlin?
Yes.
Mr. Glista?
No.
And Mr. Trimmer?
No. Having 3A not passed, we will be then voting on item 3B, which is the calendar which will start the first day for classes for students would be September 7th, 2016.
So moved.
Second. Treasurer, call the roll, please.
Mr. Wallace?
No.
Mrs. Carnegie?
Yes.
Mrs. McLaughlin?
No.
Mr. Glista?
Yes.
And Mr. Trimmer?
Yes.